So KIJ is congruent to KUV. So let's start with the angles. Angle K and angle K are congruent to each other. They're talking about the K that's in the angle of this is this triangle right here. I see UV. They're talking about this angle right here. And KIJ is this one down here. These guys are congruent to each other. You'll notice we'd know they were congruent anyway because they're vertical angles. We'll get into that. I'm teasing what's coming up later is how we'll be able to prove that triangles are congruent by looking at the way things are structured. But even if these weren't vertical angles, we know they have to be congruent because of the congruency statement. Okay. So let's see, I and U are congruent to each other. So there's I and there's U. Let's look here. Here's I, so I'm going to give it 2 marks. And U, I'm going to give it 2 marks. That's how I'm saying they're congruent to each other because they're in the same spot, right? The second one in the first triangle has to be congruent to the second one in the second triangle. And then the third ones have to be congruent, J and V. So I'll mark them with 3. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. Now the sides. KI and KU have to be congruent. See how that's from the first to the second, from the first to the second? So KI and KU. Also, you can notice, see how this line segment goes from the one with 1 marking to the one with 2 markings? It's also happening up here. The one with 1 marking to the one with 2 markings. Right? Those have to correspond because everything is like matching up, right? Then IJ and UV. So IJ is this one. I'll give it 2 marks. And UV is this one. UV. Give it 2 marks. And then the one we haven't marked yet, that's the third one. I'll give it 3 marks. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter, by the way, that you'll notice I marked the first one with 1 mark and the second one with 2 marks. It doesn't matter. I could have started with 3 marks. Doesn't matter as long as it's consistent.